Let me tell you something most airlines won't openly admit. Travelers over 65 have more power, more comfort privileges, and more quiet advantages in the airport than any other group. But almost nobody ever claims them. Not because they're not allowed to, not because they're rare, but because airlines quietly hope most people simply don't know to ask. If you're over 65, you are flying in a system built around speed, volume, and efficiency, not comfort. And the industry quietly relies on the fact that many older travelers won't speak up, won't request support, and won't question policies. Today, we're changing that to forever. This video is your inside briefing. From the perspective of a flight crew member who has seen exactly how senior passengers get treated, and how the ones who speak up, prepare right, and know the behind-the-scenes rules get everything from faster boarding to safer seating to better in-flight treatment. By the time we land at the end of this video, you're going to know how to board stress-free, move through security without rushing, pick the right seats, avoid medical complications, navigate long layovers, and even secure extra comfort perks without feeling like you're asking for special treatment. You're not. You're claiming what's already yours. So get comfortable. We're about to fly much smarter. The forgotten advantage seniors have at check-in. If you only remember one thing from this entire video, let it be this. Airline staff cannot offer certain accommodations unless you request them. And the moment you say you need a little extra time or comfort, the entire system shifts around you. What most senior passengers don't realize is that there's a quiet protocol, especially on full flights, to help older travelers move through the airport at a manageable pace. It's not the dramatic wheelchairs you see everywhere. It's subtle. Early check-in support, seating assistance, bypassing certain queues, help with carry-ons, and even boarding flexibility. You don't need to justify mobility or energy levels. You don't need to explain why. All you say is, I'll need extra time and support moving through the airport. Believe me, gate staff and flight attendants hear that, and we act. Because the truth is, we'd much rather help early than react to a passenger who's uncomfortable mid-flight. And speaking of boarding, the real way seniors should board that no one tells you. Boarding isn't about pride or waiting your turn. It's about preserving your energy and controlling your environment. Airlines make boarding stressful by design. Crowds rushing, competing for space in the overhead bins. It's chaos built into the system. But here's something almost no senior traveler realizes. You do not need a doctor's note or a wheelchair to board early. Simply request extra time boarding. That's the phrase, and once you do, boarding changes dramatically. You avoid the crowd. You place your bags slowly and safely. You settle into your seat without pressure. You can speak with the crew before the rush. And here's the quiet truth. Flight attendants always notice passengers who take their time boarding early. We look out for you the rest of the flight because we know you asked before the cabin got hectic. The passengers who wait until they're exhausted or uncomfortable, they get lost in the chaos. Early communication is power. And if that surprised you, wait till you hear what comes with it mid-flight. Choosing the seat that protects your body and mobility. Let's talk about seats, because comfort isn't just about luxury. For older travelers, it's about circulation, muscle tension, and joint stiffness. A cramped, awkward seat isn't discomfort. It's a health risk. A lot of seniors automatically choose aisle seats, thinking they'll stand more easily. But here's the insider truth. Aisle seats get hit constantly during service. Carts, elbows, bags. If you bruise easily or have balance concerns, the aisle can be exhausting. Window seats offer stability, something to lean on, a quieter environment, and better head support. But middle seats? If you're over 65, they should almost never be an option, and airlines won't tell you that. And here's something most don't know. If you inform the gate crew that you need space to stretch or you're at risk of stiffness or swelling, they will try to seat you in more flexible row positions, especially if the flight isn't full. Don't ask for an upgrade, just say, I need a seat where I can adjust my legs comfortably. Different rules and very different results. But the real seating mistake seniors make? Choosing exit rows. Exit rows sound roomy, but they require strength, mobility, and fast reaction ability. If you're asked whether you can operate the door and you hesitate even slightly, you will be moved, sometimes to the tightest remaining seat. Better option, front cabin aisle or window, or the bulkhead row if you prefer a little more space and less bending. And if you're thinking, but what if I feel awkward asking? Trust me, you're not inconveniencing anyone. You're flying smarter and safer. What most seniors don't know about carry-on bags. One of the biggest hidden risks for older travelers isn't turbulence, isn't boarding, it's lifting bags into the overhead bin. Flight attendants are technically not required to lift heavy luggage, and in some airlines, we're actually discouraged for safety reasons. But here's the insider reality. If you board early and calmly say, "I need help lifting my bag safely," crew members will almost always help, because we know it prevents injuries and avoids issues during fast boarding phases. The quiet trick? Never wait until the aisle is crowded. Ask when you step on the aircraft, not when you're already at your seat and the line is forming behind you. Timing is everything in an airport. And speaking of timing, the security line shortcut nobody explains. Most older passengers dread security, shoes off, rushing, balancing items. But there's an easy secret. You can request a slower, more secure lane at most airports if mobility or balance is a concern. You don't need documentation. You don't need medical proof. Just say, "I walk more slowly and need extra time through screening." You'll often be directed to a priority or secondary lane where you aren't rushed. And trust me, slower screening is calmer, safer, and dramatically easier on your nerves and balance. Another hidden bonus? Older passengers are more likely to be exempt from having to remove shoes or jackets depending on airport policy. The TSA won't advertise it, but if an agent sees you're over 65 and mention mobility or balance, the screening process softens. It's not a weakness. It's smart travel energy management. The in-flight comfort routine that prevents health issues. Once you're seated, your comfort strategy begins. Not when the seatbelt sign turns off. A long flight can affect seniors differently. Circulation slows, joints stiffen faster, hydration becomes more critical. So here's what savvy older travelers do, and most others don't. Before takeoff, adjust your lumbar. Ask a flight attendant for an extra pillow and blanket before the plane gets busy. Place soft support behind your lower back. Stretch your ankles gently every 30 minutes. And drink water early, not later, when everyone else suddenly requests it. Those who wait end up dehydrated, stiff, and fatigued when they land. Those who prepare, they step off feeling like they just finished a comfortable car ride, not a cramped marathon. And there's one request older passengers rarely make, but absolutely should, especially on long flights. Ask the crew when the cabin lights will dim. Then time your rest, meal, or medication around it. You own your rhythm, not the airline. We're going to talk about medication and health timing soon, because that alone can transform your flight. But first, if you're someone who wants to fly smarter, not just cheaper, and you love learning the travel secrets airlines never volunteer, take a second and make sure you're subscribed to BoardiFly. This channel exists to help travelers like you fly comfortably, confidently, and with insider knowledge most people never hear, especially senior travelers who deserve an easier journey every single time they step into an airport. All right, let's keep going, because the next tip is one even flight attendants whisper about. The quiet medical advantage seniors have, but rarely use. Let's talk about health preparation, the part that changes everything. If you're over 65, turbulence isn't your biggest threat. Dehydration, circulation changes, medication timing, and energy fatigue are. And here's where you get a silent priority other passengers don't. If you tell the crew you're managing medication timing, or you need water for pills at a specific time, we will always make sure you're taken care of, even during turbulence windows when service pauses. Airline policy protects medical needs. Flight attendants take it seriously. But again, we can't know unless you tell us calmly and early. A simple heads up like, "I take medication at specific times. Can I ask for water when I need it?" changes everything. We'll check on you, We'll bring water early. We'll quietly look out for you during turbulence periods. And if you're thinking, I don't want to bother anyone, hear this. You're never a bother when you're proactive. You're a priority. Now, hydration matters, but there's another surprisingly important detail. Don't rush off the plane. Senior travelers benefit by waiting. Most people want to rush off the aircraft the moment we land, but older travelers, rushing increases fall risk, strain, and anxiety. You don't need to fight the crowd, ever. Just tell a flight attendant, I'll exit last so I can move safely. What happens? We protect space around you. We help get your bag. We ensure no one behind you pushes or pressures you. The cabin becomes calm again, and you walk off confidently, not squeezed and rushed. We've seen too many seniors get caught in the rush because they felt pressured to move quickly. You don't have to. Air travel favors patience, not speed. And speaking of patience, the secret layover strategy seniors should always use. Long layovers can be torture, or they can be peaceful and restorative, depending on one decision. Choose your layover based on walking distance and rest opportunity, not speed. Airline connections are often tight, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, and younger travelers scramble to make them. But if you're over 65, that's a recipe for stress and exhaustion. Smart senior travelers choose a slightly longer layover, 90 minutes to 2 hours. Why? You get time to walk without rushing. You can use the restroom calmly. You can hydrate, stretch, and breathe. A comfortable layover isn't wasted time. It's protective time. And here's a little secret. If you request assistance at your arrival gate, cart ride, escort, or priority transfer, most airports provide it if available. They'd rather guide you than risk you rushing and stumbling in crowded terminals. But here's where most older travelers lose energy unnecessarily. Never sit at the gate. Here's what to do instead. Watching the departure board and sitting at the gate sounds logical, but it drains you. Gate seating is cramped, noisy, and uncomfortable. Everyone is tense. Everyone is standing and shifting and blocking each other. Instead, find a quiet rest zone, lounge area, or seating away from the boarding point, and return 10 to 15 minutes before boarding. This isn't laziness. It's smart energy management. And if you're flying frequently, consider a simple lounge benefit card. Not the luxury ones, the simple ones. Because having a calm place to rest, hydrate, and use clean facilities is worth more than free snacks. Comfort is a strategy, not a luxury. At the end, your checklist. Let's land this gently. Flying is still one of the greatest freedoms, and our world becomes bigger, richer, and more connected every time we travel. But as we get older, the system doesn't automatically adjust to us. We have to know how to navigate it. So here's what you take with you. Speak up early, not when you're already tired. Board calmly before the crowd. Ask for help lifting bags as soon as you enter the plane. Choose seats that protect your comfort and circulation. Tell the crew if you have medication timing needs. Move slowly and confidently through security. Take control of layovers, don't endure them. Let the fast crowd rush. Your journey is about comfort and safety. There's a phrase I love to tell senior travelers. You're not asking for favors, you're asking for fairness. And the ones who ask, they walk off planes feeling capable, calm, and confident. Now let me hear from you. What's the best small travel tip you've ever learned? Drop it in the comments, because your experience will help someone else fly better. If you found value today, make sure to subscribe to BoardiFly for more insider guidance, hidden travel advantages, and smarter flying strategies. Until next time, fly smarter.